Welcome to London Lips YouTube channel. Welcome if you're new and welcome if you're not. We always spill the tea. So remember I told you about this girl who had joined a tribe, the Kubala tribe, and how she had been groomed in. She's speaking out now about her family, and if you haven't seen the other video, check it out. It's on the channel. But she had joined a tribe and she has been having sexual relations with the king of the tribe. And I was quite concerned about her, and her mother was expressing how she wanted her home. Now, she's came out and expressed and told people exactly why she does not want to go home. She's in actually an extremely abusive situation within her family. So just listen to what she has to say. It's quite shocking.
It's the 31st of October. It's already past midnight, and I just felt compelled to speak about this topic. Obviously, my story has become very big now. As I've joined the kingdom of Kubala, everybody wants to know where I come from and why I've claimed such big claims about these people and why I've declared that I'll never go back. And obviously, all the chosen people have very similar stories, but my story is very unique because my life is literally in danger. I am not safe around these people in any way, shape, or form. I never have been and I never will be, hence why I will never go back. But I think today is the day for me to just talk about even the things that I've experienced and tell my story, because I can never prove anything to you. I'm not here to prove anything. So it's not about, all the terrible things I've been through, but more just about the future and what my future looks like. If I were to ever be put in a situation to have no other choice but to be back in the same vicinity as these people. But yeah, I say all that to say that I come from a family of very dangerous people. We also saw the public manic episode that my mother had, Melba Whitehead. Melba is a literal diagnosed schizophrenic. She has very violent, unpredictable, she's just, her personality is very violent, and her tendencies are just very erratic. So I'm just not safe around her in any way, but she has a certain type of influence over the rest of the family and over the people that she's around. She has a way with words and of masking her mental disability. But yeah, for as long as I can remember, I had been molested by Vandora. I had been groomed by my aunt, which was at one point even my legal guardian that my mother gave me away to. Yet now as an adult, she is advocating for me to be brought back to her, which is strange within itself because I'm an adult. So for her to even be pursuing me like this is very strange, especially given the fact that she gave me away as a child, regardless as to who it was to. But she is well aware that I was abused by this lady. It's very disturbing to even think about, let alone talk about. But I was literally being threatened. My life was being threatened, even just suggesting that I would ever even speak about this. And this is a story of any victim of abuse. Obviously, you don't speak about these things because these people have a certain position of superiority over you, and the power that they have is very scary when you come from a family like mine, a family of mobsters, literally mobsters. And they take orders from people who are very dangerous. And I was even threatened. My life had been threatened so many times that if you ever tell anybody any of this, I will hit you over the head with a crowbar. I will bang your head into a brick. These are words of these family members that the whole world wants to see me back, standing beside them and pretending as if everything is okay. And even their ploys right now, even the whole strategy of this loving family is to have me sent back to them so that they can take my life and silence me. And the things that they are doing now while I'm here is to discredit everything that I say. They're very strategic and very conniving like that. They went ahead, they went before me, so that everything that I'm even saying right now, nobody will believe. But as I said before, I'm not here to prove it to you. I'm just telling my story because this is my life. And I'm so angry just thinking about the things that I've had to endure in silence, the suffering that I endured in silence. But a part of my testimony is also the fact that while I was in the US, in Egypt, the only person I really could confide in was my grandma. My Nana was my best friend. And if I wasn't with Vandora, I was with my Nana. But I spent most of my childhood in the custody, in the care of those two people. And my grandma was the pillar of the family. She was the only person that I felt like actually loved me and cared about me. And she was the only person that I confided in about my abuse and my sexual abuse. She saved me from a lot of brutal beatings from my mom, but she also was the only person to know about me being sexually abused by Vandora. And my family has a long history of hiding, of keeping a lot of secrets. I even have a cousin who had got impregnated by her own father, who was also sexually abusing her. And she had to flee and literally join the military because she was estranged from the family and threatened the same way I was. They bury secrets like this. But yeah, I told my grandma everything that I was dealing with and everything that had been going on. She was the only person that I felt safe talking to about these things. And she had a way of just reassuring me and comforting me when I was suffering the way that I was. And she let me know that as long as she lives, no one would ever hurt me again, that I will always be safe with her, and that they wouldn't hurt me. So I could tell her everything that was going on, and I didn't feel like, my life was in danger. But if you don't know, my grandma is she's no longer here. So I don't have that reassurance anymore that if all else fails and I do have to go back to this country, that I'll even be safe. Because obviously we are living in times where the whole world is following my story, as I said before. And it'll take one phone call, one picture, and they will find me. They will find me. If I am even across the border in the US, they will find me and they will end my life. And that is the goal. And unfortunately, I don't have the power to stop this ring of very powerful people that I come from. The only thing that I could do, the only thing that was in my best interest that I could do was just to leave. And that's all I've done. And now I'm telling my story, and they have all come together as one big force. I've heard that, my mom, Melba, is now even in contact with my stepfather, the man who was around as my father figure as I was growing up, which is also a member and the leader of a very big gang. And they take orders from him. They do whatever he tells them to do. And I remember growing up, there would be lethal weapons all around the house. And they're not the type of people to have things like that and not plan to use them. So they're always loaded and ready to go. I've seen it all. I've grown up in an environment that a child should never see, but this was my life. And I was just never able to speak about these things. So I trained myself not to think about it. And as I said, they've gone before me to make everything that I say now be discredited. And this is the story of a victim. But I'm no longer a victim of these people. Even though my grandma is not here anymore, I am safe in the bosom of my Lord husband, the King of Kubala. There is nowhere on earth that I feel safer, that I feel as safe as I do now, to be free and tell my story and express myself in a way that I've never been able to do, and channel this pain, all of this pain that I've had to suffer in the hands of people that I love the most and who are supposed to love me. But these people are dangerous to me. They have even threatened my life multiple times, even me just leaving and now speaking my story, telling my story. They are hunting me down. And yeah, I'm just not, I will never, in my own free will, I will never willingly go back to these people. It'll never happen. But I say all that to say that this is life in the kingdom of Kubala. And I know that this is the story for so many other young women around the world. And even just thinking about your families pursuing you after you've stepped into this life, after you've answered to your calling, and having all of these people who want what's worse for you, but pretend to have your best interests at heart. It's very deep like that. And I have a very complex relationship with these people, but I know that I have now answered to my calling of being here. And this is the reason why everybody is just wanting me to go back. But yeah, as I said before, I will never willingly go back to these people. I'm not safe there. And if I ever were to be sent back or go back, I wouldn't live to see another day. I wouldn't even live to tell you about how it goes. Because this is how dangerous these people are, and this is how much power they have. But all is well in the kingdom, and I am safe and healthy. And I plan on having a good night's rest now that I've let all the steam off and let the stuff off my chest, all this pain that has been weighing on me, and just learning and finding the ways to express it and let it go. And the king and the queen are the parents that I never had. I never grew up with a mother, with an actual mother, with a woman who shows me and leads me by example and nurtures me and just assures me that she's there for me, that she cares for me. I never had that. So that inner child in me is being healed every single day. And I just have so much strength and so much faith in my future that is with them, with my Lord husband and with my mistress. So on that note, I say, Kubala, Kubala, I'm going to bed.
I'm still so worried about this young lady. Like, she's in a bad situation with this couple who are running some form of a cult. She was fleeing abuse clearly at home, and she's ended up in another abusive situation. She really needs some help. Hopefully she will get some sort of help, some sort of counselling, as she'll be situated away from her family and away from these two people who have groomed her. If you haven't seen my previous video about the Kubala tribe, make sure you check that out, just so you can get a bit more of an understanding as to how this girl ended up in this situation. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, guys, and I'll definitely see you on another one. Controller, controller, yeah. Okay, you like it when I get